Well. What do we have here? Is this another season preview? That's right. We're doing it for the NBA season preview with win totals from across the league. It's another episode of DB2 Bets, brought to you by BetStamp, where we use that BetStamp app to find the best odds available across all of the different sports books out there across North America, and by Yup Beer. Visit yupbeer.com to find a location near you. Over 200 locations across Ontario. What's going on? I'm your host, Josh Elijah. Hope you've had a great week. Hopefully you've made your picks for NHL, but right now we're rolling right along to the NBA, the start of the season. Man, I love October. October's fucking fantastic. You got October baseball right now. Just some really close games going on between the Dodgers and the Padres, and then you got walk-offs in Houston. It's magical. It's always magical October baseball. And then we got the start of the NHL season kicking it off yesterday, and then obviously the NBA coming up soon, and we're right in the thick of it for the NFL season. So no better time to be a sports fan, and really excited to be bringing this to you. We got our pillar of the show as well, my main man, Jesse McKay, aka Birdman.
Yo.
How you doing, buddy?
Fantastic.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I'm fucking jazzed up. I'm ready to go. This has been a long time coming. We started doing this for the NHL season previews, and then we're like, why aren't we doing this for the NBA? We need to be doing this as well. So this is our first actual NBA season preview, and we're going to be picking the overs or unders for NBA teams from across the league in both conferences. But enough about that. We're gonna get into that a whole lot. I'm really excited to be bringing our guest onto the show. I've had the chance to be a guest on his show a few times, and not for nothing, but I think one of the last times that I did it, one of our friends and host of this show as well, Mike Fulmer, as he's away from the show right now, he listened to it and he's like, man, I mean, that's a lot of fun. We should try and put something together like that. And I'm just like, well, sure. I mean, like, all it takes is a couple dudes and a couple mics and we can give it a shot. But like, he was taken back by your show, Freddie. We have Freddie Rivas here, host of Confederacy of Dunks, which is now available on Raptors Republic. Freddie, my man, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I also love October. Thank you so much, for the compliments. I really appreciate that. I always got to shout out my producer.
Yeah, Matty D.
The real Matty D.
The real Matty D. Yeah,
the real
man.
McCoy.
Oh, man.
He's amazing.
Incredible. Yeah, man. Absolutely.
And love doing the podcast. And thanks for having me. Like I was saying before the podcast, like right before we started recording, that this is sort of a season now, the over under. So
Exactly.
I'm into it, you know.
Yeah, man.
I know the language. I bet as well. I'm ready.
Let's go. Let's go, buddy. Yeah, man. Really pumped to be doing this with you as well. I mean, like, you are so knowledgeable, and I always have a blast every time I do Confederacy of Dunks. Make sure you check out COD anywhere you get your podcast, and on Raptors Republic as well. By the way, just share a little bit of insight, because I know that your show was on a different network, and then now it's on Raptors Republic, which is fantastic.
Yeah, so we were with the Sonar Network, which
shout
I
out
love.
Sonar, they're great.
They're awesome. Shout out to Michael and Mariana there who run it. It's like a network of mostly Toronto-based comedy podcasts. So it made sense for us. We were like a basketball podcast that has a lot of comedians on Raptors podcasts, and I still me and Catherine Niker, my buddy, we. And also comedian. We do a WNBA podcast with the Sonar Network as well. So, the opportunity came up, and Raptors Republic is a place we've admired. I mean, I've been reading Raptors Republic for a decade plus now. So,
of course,
the fit was very seamless, and we're pretty happy to be on board.
Oh man, it's great, and they're polished. They know their stuff as well. We've had the chance to have Blake Murphy on the show as well, so it's they're great. So kudos to you, and make sure that you go ahead and follow along there. I know I do. So yeah, man, would love to be able to jump back on the show. It's always a great time at Confederacy of Dunks, and chop it up with you and Matty D and some other great comics as well. Yeah, man. Before we jump into this, buddy, I was saying before the show, I've been saving this story for the NBA kickoff episode. And then once we booked you, and this has been a long time coming as well, and I knew that I had to save this story for you. But I went down to Detroit a couple weekends ago. Have you guys, Birdman? I know you've been before, but Freddie, have you ever visited and gone to see any sports down in Detroit?
Yeah, I went once, probably about 5, 6 years ago for a bachelor party, and we
Oh no
saw
way!
a Pistons game in Auburn Hills.
Oh no
Uh,
way!
Wow.
Wow.
so at the Palace, yeah, it was
That's
awesome.
killer.
It was
Yeah.
amazing. The tickets were like 30. It's like it's tough as a Torontonian, like just how cheap those tickets were, because
I
they
know.
were like $30, and we got a buffet and like endless beer.
Wow.
And it
Got the
was like
VIP package.
it was
Yeah.
nuts. Like it was just so ridiculously cheap and affordable.
Yeah.
It was a good game too. It was against Dallas, so we got to see
Oh, yeah.
Dirk do his thing.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
man, that's
Um,
crazy. That's
Yeah, it
good,
was
man.
a bachelor party, right? So it's fairly debaucherous, but
Oh yeah.
it was great.
Oh man, well, I mean, this definitely felt like a bachelor party. I went down with a couple of the boys. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at tickets to try and see the Raptors in Detroit when they now they're over at Caesar's Palace or whatever,
Mhm.
Little Caesars Arena. But right down to Caesar's Palace, whatever the fuck it is. But it's great, like as a sports fan, to like it's the downtown core now. It has where the Pistons and the
Yep.
Red Wings play, and then right there's Comerica Park, and then right there you got Ford Field. It's just a shame that all Detroit's teams aren't very good at all. So that's just the way it is. But we went down to go check out a couple games. Went to go see the Tigers game on the Saturday. They were just finishing off the season at the beginning of October, and then that was followed back to back with a Lions game. Which, quick note, by the way, if you're going to score 45 points as a Lions team and still lose, that's very unfortunate, especially to the
So
Seattle
poor.
Seahawks, a 48-45 final. I mean, like, man, there was some offense, but dude, you can't lose that game. But be that as it may, I digress. We're bumping around downtown after the game. It's 4:00, and we're already pretty tuned at this point. And the night before, we had hit up the Greektown Casino. I don't know if you guys have been down and around Greektown, but they got a casino, and we were doing pretty good on the Saturday. We were doing all right. So we hit up the roulette table on the Saturday, and we decided to try our luck again on the Sunday. And we're living pretty dangerously. We're playing $25, $25 hands, placing bets
Wow.
on roulette. Yeah. And we're
Get it.
we're going straight black or like
You guys are just fried too.
yeah. Oh, fuck
The
yeah,
only way you're
man.
throwing down 25.
25. Well, I mean, that's the minimum. It's the minimum. So I mean, like,
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, we were doing even and odd too, and then sometimes we just go black even, and we couldn't miss, and everything was going great, having the time of our lives. And then my buddy reaches or like kind of leans over it and is just like, I'm pretty sure that's Allen Iverson. And I'm like, buddy, no fucking way. It's not Allen Iverson. And then this guy turns around. He's got a big iced out chain with AI3 on it. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the fucking answer. Are you kidding me? And he's playing roulette right next to me. And we're playing $25 hands. I'm like, what are you doing on this public table? Like, shouldn't you be playing at the high rollers? Like, I don't get it. But like, here we are, like playing roulette. And then my buddy Brad, big dude, he's a chef. He's got a big old mustache. He's like, yo, the answer. And then like AI was like pretty tuned at this point too. He must have just come from the game. Maybe one of his boys plays for the Lions, but he just turns around, blows him a little kiss. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, this is just crazy that I'm playing roulette with Allen Iverson, and then obviously I'm talking to his manager, like he's got his team of security around him and stuff, and I'm talking to his manager trying to like get in with him. I'm like, oh man, it'd be great if you could come on and do our podcast sort of thing. Like I don't know, like I bet that I mean like he probably charged me a couple $1,000s just to jump on his show. Like he doesn't strike me as like someone who's rolling in it right now, especially if you're playing the $25 table. But yeah, I'm trying to get in, you're just chatting with the manager, with his like security team and what have you. And then,
Hey man, you absolutely have to go for it.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I've got to shoot your shot. Absolutely. But then literally speaking, my buddy Brad leans in to go place another bet because it's a busy table. And he's just like, okay, well, I'm playing with AI. This is just it right now. And he brushes up against him. by accident because it's a crowded table and a security team go whoa, 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 and then they start like this whole commotion thing, like back the fuck up, and he's like, dude, I'm literally trying to just play a hand here at roulette, like you're at a public table. And then AI turns around, he's like, step back, you mustache having bitch, and he's like,
whoa. Yeah. He blows him another kiss. Oh, this is mixed signals AI.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, you know what? Incredible, but I guess you don't meet your idols, I suppose. Like this, it's just absolutely insane. And then like
also mustache having is great.
Mustache having bitch. Yeah.
That is like, so funny, man.
Dude, it was so like honestly, there's no comeback for that after. It's just like,
the only thing you can do is basically try and go to the washroom, shave your mustache as quick as you can.
Yeah.
Come back.
Come right back.
Like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Throw it all on black. But
dude,
man,
that's so funny. Brad texted me later that night, and it was before I even knew that you guys saw him, and he just goes, man, Allen Iverson is a fucking dick. I was like, that's random, but
with no context. Yeah, man.
Yeah, like, I mean, he is, but you're a mustache having bitch. So.
Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong. You mustache having bitch. I mean, that's just for me. Like when I saw that go down, I'm like, I was floored. I couldn't believe it. But I mean, like, but then again, I could because like AI. I mean, like he always had a bit of a dude, you know, and. I mean, like it is what it is. Hopefully we can get him on the podcast. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, Brad can't come on though.
The Brad can't be the guest on that show,
yeah.
Unless he shaves.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's that was my Detroit experience. And I mean, like I don't know if you were a big AI fan when you were a kid.
I was a huge AI fan.
Yeah, did you have the sneakers and everything? You had the kicks.
I didn't have the kicks, but you know, I was like, that's when I was like really becoming a basketball fanatic. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like he's got to be one of like the most iconic scorers and one of like most iconic players who really like generational and shaped the game to kind of what it is today. Wouldn't you agree?
For sure. Yeah,
man. It was crazy. I didn't realize that I'd be playing Detroit with or I'd be playing roulette in Detroit with Allen Iverson on a 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. So it was this is an incredible experience.
Fantastic.
And like, I guess I don't really know what his ties are with Detroit. I guess he played a little bit with the Pistons as well towards the latter half of his career. So just a really weird, random story I wanted to share with you off the top of the show.
Love it.
Fucking never going to get to say that again. Who knows? Maybe. But yeah, that's I guess segueing into our show. I'll be talking a bit about the Sixers, but let's kick this off. Again, the name of the game here is we're playing the over or the under win totals. We've grabbed our odds from one of our favorite sports books, which is BetMGM. Just honestly, just one of the more solid apps that are out there. A really, really great app. Always got some great odds, great boosted odds as well. Can I say that? I don't know. But yeah, they have some pretty great specials. So make sure that you go check out betstamp.app/onboarding and use promo code DB2 if you want to open up your BetMGM account and take advantage of all of those sweet sign-up bonuses that they have going on over there as well. So kicking it off, we're going to talk about, we've each got 2 picks here for the Eastern Conference. And Freddie, why don't you kick us off here and talk to us a little bit about the Raptors? And, you know, we had our draft, we had our fantasy draft the other day there, and you had some interesting takes. You know, especially about OG and Scotty. And
I did.
You know,
yeah. I was letting it fly. I'm usually quiet in the chat room, but I was
reckless,
like,
my dude.
I was getting in there. That was my AI moment. You know what I mean? I was like, I got my mustache going.
Mustache having bitches. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what started that, but I felt like I just dove right in there. I was a little bit late, so I didn't purposely draft Harden, but I'm okay. I'm okay with that still.
Yeah. No, I'm always open for a trade. So we can.
Hey. Oh my God.
We digress though.
Classic Josh.
Maybe just some quick thoughts about our boys, about the Raptors going into this season, and then we can maybe get down to the win total. But like, do you find that, you know, 46 is that about on par? Tell us some of your thoughts as we're about to kick off the season here.
Yeah. So, you know, I think, I guess I understand, you know, 46 from a perspective of the East is getting better, or it's gotten better. You know, I think the floor is really raised. You have a bunch of teams openly tanking in the West, teams that don't usually tank. like San Antonio and Utah.
Mhm.
And really, I think in the East, it's like sort of Indiana, sort of Orlando. But even Detroit and New York, they think they are going to be in the play-in, or they're going to try and be in the play-in. Charlotte, Washington, and it's it's a pretty stacked conference. With that said, I think this Raptors team was 48 wins last year, with not a lot of depth and a lot of injuries. And I think that they've really increased their depth. The starting lineup to me doesn't really blow me away. I don't think the starting lineup is particularly special for the Raptors, but I feel like this is a team that is built to rack up regular season wins. They're young, they're developing. Will they go through some major shooting slumps? You better believe it.
Yeah.
Will they have much of a difference when they start going to the bench? No. And I think that's sort of where I'm at. I think this team is going to be a knuckleball in the NBA. When it comes to the playoffs, completely different story. But I think in the regular season, teams are gonna, they're gonna get the scouting report on the Raptors, and they're gonna be like, "What the hell? Let's not change our identity. These guys are just totally whacked out, and let's try and do our thing." And I think the Raptors are sort of set to capitalize on that.
Catching teams off guard then.
Catching teams off guard. And I don't think there's anyone on the team that you should expect not to improve, short of maybe like Thaddeus Young, maybe Otto Porter.
Kind of know what you're getting there.
So I'm honestly going to be disappointed if this team doesn't crack 50 wins. So for me, it's a pretty easy over. I think, there's always that stat that comes around. I forget the exact window of time or whatever, but it's something like the last 13 out of the 14 years, Vegas has got the Raptors wrong. So this to me is it's another year. They got the Raptors right in the Tampa year. That's the year where the Raptors underperformed. Also, very selfishly, I made a bunch of money on the Raptors over last year, and they got past the over with like 20 games left. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I completely agree. We were talking about this before our recording here, and betting the over with the Raptors. It seems to be year after year, easy money. I mean, let's not shoot ourselves in the foot right now, but I mean, like, I just don't get where 48 was our win total last year, and we have improved. I mean, maybe not
internally.
Of course.
Say. Yes, internally.
Yeah, of course. And like, I mean, like, we didn't go out and get any big names or anything like that, but we haven't lost anything. And we're definitely, like you're mentioning, like each player you can expect for them to improve. So to see our win total at 46, it's weird. So obviously 46 and a half, we're saying 47 or more wins this year. And the odds that BetMGM are giving us is -115. So I really do like it. I'm definitely going to put money down on that as well. Toronto Raptors on the over 46 and a half wins throughout the year, as opposed to their 48 last year. You're talking about OG potentially having a better breakout year than Scotty Barnes. Everyone.
That was the big controversial comment.
I feel like that's my hot take du jour right now. That's sort of just based on the fact that even less of an OG breakout and more just kind of tempering expectations for Scotty. I don't necessarily think Scotty's going to have a sophomore slump or anything like that, but I think the finer points of development in the NBA take a really long time. So I think Scotty entered the league as this force. It's really encouraging to me that he can bully people right away. Like not a lot of, it's a short list of guys who are strong enough to bully other people. But, he's like a 30% 3-point shooter. Teams are going to game plan for that, right? You can only surprise the NBA once. And then you have to add, and all that stuff is very kind of like tedious. So I think a lot of that development that I think a lot of the average Raptors fan expects, I feel like is going to be over the course of a couple years versus next year. Like I don't think Scotty's going to be knocking on the All-Star door or anything like that. I'm not saying OG is a lot better, but I think OG is, he's at a point in his development where I think he has a more solid foundation and is he's been game planned for. So I think I still have OG over Barnes this year. Anyways, well, we'll see. I mean, I hope I'm wrong in a sense because I feel like if I'm low on Barnes, that means the Raptors are like, I don't know, a 60 win team or something crazy. Like, so I'd be happy about that.
Kidding. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I totally agree. And barring any sort of injury, right? And that's been kind of the story with OG as well, is that can he stay healthy, and he expects more of a role, but you need to make sure that you're available because you got to be available for that. So barring any sort of injury, going completely healthy into the year, I mean, I don't think that they're going to start Precious Achiuwa, but do you think that you see Precious Achiuwa take that fifth spot on the starting lineup and then potentially see Gary Trent going to the bench?
I think he could. I feel like I'm also a little bit in a minority there in that I think I want it to be so that, like, this point where Precious is overwhelmingly good. And I was saying this on my pod the other day. Like, I want him to be closing every game because you just can't take him off the floor.
I heard that. Yeah.
It looked amazing last year. He looked incredible, but I don't want to sell Trent short. I don't know if anyone can shoot threes and relocate as well as Trent on the team other than Fred. So that skill, in a team that it definitely does not have a lot of shooters. OG and Otto should be able to kind of like catch and shoot sort of thing. But I really don't think you can. I mean, you can remove Fred from the starting or Trent from the starting lineup. I also think that there's a chance, we imagine him to be this like gunslinger once he goes to the bench. But I also feel like there's the flip side of that is that he has worse opportunities. He's in a contract year and he starts to chuck a lot more as opposed to getting wide open threes after Barnes or Siakam break down the D.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I agree with everything you're saying. I think it's just to kind of tie this back up. I think it is a great pick as well. Definitely hammer that over. I think with the Toronto Raptors, again, over 46.5 wins for the year. That's minus 150 odds. So pretty even either way. And compared to last year's win total, which is 48. Now moving along. Let's talk about our Nets. This is one that's what I was looking at too. I was thinking about taking it, but I ended up going in a different direction. Nets under. Talk to me about it, Freddie. I love it.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think this is like, we're doing podcasts, right? So I want to have a bit of fun. Yeah. Obviously, I see the potential for the over here, right?
Sure.
But just taking a step back, like, forget about the tumultuous offseason. Forget about, let's assume there's no trades or anything like that. I think the gelling of this team, like, I don't think this team has a lot of depth. I saw on Twitter, there was a big buzz going that Utah hit a bunch of threes. Well, Utah couldn't make the Raptors camp roster this year. So, they want Utah to be a rotation guy there. And KD is special. He's so special. He's amazing. Kyrie's incredible. I'm actually a big believer in Ben Simmons being a productive player.
Absolutely.
Seth Curry, the Claxton, they have guys.
Patty Mills and pick up Royce O'Neal as well.
Totally.
TJ Warren when he's healthy. I mean,
TJ Warren.
They're pieces, but it doesn't feel like they have much of an identity or much of a chemistry, really. So.
That's exactly it. I feel like, there's a couple teams for me where I just want to see it first. I don't want to go on a tangent here, but another team is the Clippers, where I'm not saying over under or anything, but I'm just saying, like, as far as them being like full blown contenders, like, I want to see it. I want to see Kawhi and PG completely healthy and tearing up the league and everything. So I put the Nets in that category. I don't think that KD has played more than half of the season since his extremely unfortunate injury. So can he carry a team? Yeah, in the playoffs. Can he carry a team for 82 games? I don't know, man. That's a big ask.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously Kyrie and his availability as well, and Ben Simmons,
Right?
who knows? I mean, this he had I really want the best for him, but he hasn't played in a year and a bit, so it's tough. So
how's Steve Nash feeling, right? Like,
right,
there's a lot going on there, and I think sometimes it's all just noise and a team can kind of congeal, but it's not like they have like all this kind of continuity structurally. Like a lot of teams in the East especially have tons of continuity this year.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's going to be hard for the Nets to just be incredible right away, I think.
Yeah. And like Kyrie's off court stuff aside,
right?
Like his health is also a concern. Like when was the last time he played a healthy season? Honestly, like
seriously,
might be in a Cavaliers uniform,
That's a great point. Like, and like
we can't count on him to be on the floor.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. I definitely like the under here on that. Again, it could be an over, but I like the way the under looks a little bit better on this. I think 50.5 wins is a bit high for a team that hasn't played except for some of the like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, Claxton, Patty Mills, Seth Curry. That's it. Like it's I don't even know if Aldridge is playing this year. So I mean, and was he that big of a factor before? So I like the under. BetMGM has them at -105. So even Vegas, they're leaning towards over 50.5 wins here. So they're at -105 compared to last year's record of 44 wins, which last year was just a disaster. So yeah, I definitely like the under. Lock it and load it. Let's take the under on that 50.5 wins.
Lock it and load it.
I know. I like lock it and load it too. I was like, shit, this guy's for real.
Yeah. Lock it and load it, baby.
So official.
Bird.
Yeah, Bird.
How you been?
How you been?
Let's kick it off, man.
Jeez, how do I follow that up? God Lord.
With the like magic. That's how you follow
breakdown. That was good. Yeah, I don't know, the Magic are just like kind of one of those exciting young teams to watch this year for me.
Of course.
Kind of like the Hornets a couple of years ago. I love flicking them on League Pass, and I don't know, they're just exciting.
Absolutely.
There's just so many young pieces on this team, and I mean, how many wins did they get last year? 22 I'm seeing.
22. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I could definitely see them hitting 26. You've got a bunch of guys from last year returning, like Franz Wagner and Cole Anthony.
A lot of people
guys that are just, dude, this guy is so sick. Like they just have a load of playmaking options at their disposal, right? And then you have Paolo Banchero coming in. He looks like the real deal, man. He's just a gigantic body and presence, and he kind of reminds me of like how I saw Scotty last year. And just like the frame, I was like, this guy's just built for the NBA already.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Like obviously his transition into the NBA is going to be a challenge at first. I remember him saying like he's not used to running as many pick and rolls or whatever, and there's going to be some adjustment, but he's going to be fine, dude.
I mean, yeah, Vegas seems to think that he's worth at least another 4 wins there to get them back up to over 26.5. Here's the thing though, is that teams are going to have to lose games. You're going to have these people that are barely, like some of these teams that are barely cracking that 20 win mark. And last year the Magic were the worst record in the East. I'm not even sure actually. Definitely in the East. I don't know about the full NBA, but they were at 22 wins last year. And you know what? I mean,
22 is so bad though. Like you can't be worse than that this year. You know, like I just don't
60 losses. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. The 60 win Magic. They're just incredible.
60 win Magic.
Yeah. Hammering the over.
You break 60 losses. That's tough.
But dude, also like you you retain Mo Bamba, Bol, Wendell Carter Jr., maybe Jonathan Isaac returns. Like, dude, you've got pieces there, man. It's a nice little core.
Yeah.
So,
And they managed. I mean, they obviously didn't, but they went throughout most of the season without Jalen Suggs last year as well, and it looks like he's also got some more injury problems as well. So, who knows if he actually is going to be a top form this year?
Oh, that's too bad. I didn't know that he was injured again.
Yeah.
his
And
knee, I think.
and Fultz is, again injured as well. So
Fultz.
It looks like, I know, Markelle. So now it's Cole Anthony's team to run right now, and it'll be exciting to see what he can do. I mean, you still have veteran presence like Terrence Ross on the bench, or shout out T Ross.
Terrence Ross.
It's just that meme of like the vegetable that gets left behind in your fridge that is there
in
for
the
weeks and weeks.
crisper.
Yeah, in the crisper. That's Terrence Ross on the Orlando Magic.
Wow.
Just deteriorating. I mean, hey, they are young, they're exciting. Paulo Banchero, man, I'm stoked for him. I know you're high on him as well. They have him at 26.5 wins, minus 120. So yeah, they're kind of leaning on the over there, as opposed to 22 wins last year. I definitely like it. They're going to be fun. And I will be tuning into those games as well. So Orlando Magic, hammer on the over.
Hell yeah.
Moving on over to the Heat. So you picked a couple Florida teams here.
Ooh,
Miami Heat.
Beatles.
Tell us about that.
So I'm taking the under on 49.5.
Love it.
I think they got incredibly lucky last year with injuries. Like in the sense that they were able to find guys to step up when they needed it. It kind of reminded me of the Raptors in years past, where
Sure.
I want to say it was the year before the Tampa year where everybody was hurt. And it just seemed like guys were coming out of nowhere to fill spots on the roster, and they're actually performing. But I just feel like that luck only lasts so long before it actually starts to settle in and you feel it, right?
Absolutely.
It's just this weird mix of like old and injury prone players with some like younger guys. And I don't know. I just don't see how it holds up through all 82 games, like you have a aging Kyle Lowry there. He kind of looks like a shell of himself, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, Victor Oladipo, like you've got a shaved, fake dreaded Jimmy Butler. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know how I'm feeling about it.
I mean, with Jimmy, it's like, can you get 60 games out of him? He misses a lot of time, and that is who your team is built around.
He might be the most durable guy on the team, honestly.
Tyler Hero also has a bunch of injuries as well, and it's just like, Bam Adebayo also injury prone as well, and really, I mean, and then you look at like they lost PJ Tucker as well, and I know that might not be a big name, but
that was my next point, honestly.
He mattered.
It's a greater loss than most people take into consideration.
Yeah, man.
Oh, for sure. He's a total glue guy, and I'm with you. Like, can Gabe Vincent, can Max Strus perform that well again? Maybe, but I think that's it's a high total if that's what you're assuming.
And also,
Duncan Robinson carry this team, right?
Oh yeah, fuck you. Sniper.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say Tyler Hero is also just like strictly an offense guy. He provides absolutely nothing else for you.
Yeah, he's got to pick up his D.
I don't know. This to me is the year we see them kind of fall back down to earth a little bit. I think they overachieved a little bit last year.
I agree. I actually said they were going to fall off last year, and they proved me wrong. But I'm doubling down.
Yeah,
this could be the year. Okay. Yeah. The Miami Heat. I mean, they're also leaning towards that under as well. Vegas has them at minus 125. Excuse me, BetMGM has them at minus 125. Last year, 53 wins, and so they knocked a few off. So 49.5. I mean, if everyone plays to like the way that they did 2 years ago, sure, but they just haven't they haven't proven anything as to why they should be able to crack that 50 win mark with the roster that they have constructed. I mean, Udonis Haslem doing his victory lap. Who knows? He has left in his tank. But yeah, no, I definitely
oldest guy in the league by 5 years.
Yeah, Is it really by 5 years?
Crazy.
Something like that. I mean, I'm 36, and I know I think there's 5 guys in the league that are older.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a grandfather. No man, the Miami Heat on the under 49.5. I like it. I like it a lot. So far, so good. I mean, I think we're nailing everything on the East here. Again, minus 125 available on BetMGM. Let's do the under on that. Love it. Speaking of PJ Tucker and him moving locations, he is now a Philadelphia 76er. And guys, I'm kind of I'm shocked really that Vegas has the 76ers at 50.5 wins. So for one, I'm pretty high on Philly.
You're taking the over, obviously.
I'm taking the over. Yeah, I'm taking the over on the Philadelphia 76ers. Look, I think Joel Embiid, I mean, it was a lot can argue that he could have won the MVP last year, that he should have won the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, he will definitely use that as motivation this year, obviously, if he can stay healthy. And I feel like he's on a pretty good health plan as well. So I feel like he's put a lot of work into that. You get a full year with James Harden. I think he realizes that he doesn't need to be the James Harden that he was in Houston in order for this team to be great and to do well. He took a pay cut. He's here. He's here to win. And then also the emergence of Tyrese Maxey. I think it's going to be, he's going to take another step forward. I fucking hate his face, but man, he's a good player. Like those players you just don't like looking at, like, you're just like, fuck you.
He
Tyrese Maxey.
He torched us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's that face, but like,
if you're a Raptor fan, you're like, oh,
Josh
man, this guy killed us.
Yeah, I know. But man, he's a nice player, man. And they got sneaky good. They did some sneaky moves in the offseason. I mean, like, for one, picking up Melton from Memphis for Danny Green. I love that. Where did that come from? Because Melton, I mean, like, he was a pretty nice piece over at that Memphis squad. So, and to give him up for Danny Green, hell yeah, I'll do that every time. And then plus you get Montrezl Harrell as well now off the bench. Crazy. Like, I mean, like, you won't see, obviously his production is going to drop off a lot in the shadow of Embiid, but if Embiid is ever injured, like, you better believe he's going to step up and give you valuable minutes. And then PJ Tucker, you got PJ Tucker as well. I think they made some pretty good acquisitions. I think that they're poised for another good year. And to see them with 51 wins last year and for the win total to be 50.5 this year, I mean, like, for me, I feel like it's an obvious over. I would hit the over 100 times out of 100. And BetMGM has them at minus 135. That tells me that everyone is definitely leaning on that over. So say no more. I don't know. Do any of you guys object? Because I'm pretty high on the 76ers. Nope. I like them finishing at the top of the East.
Yeah, no, I would just say, I think there is that health thing with Embiid. He had one of his healthiest years of his career last year, but they're a lot deeper and they're a lot more like functional. And I think people forget that they played their almost entire year trying to trade Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
So, if they had Ben Simmons playing last year, like, do they finish in fourth? Maybe not. Maybe they finish in second or first, right? So I think,
yeah, exactly.
And I definitely am. I'm here for the Harden revival. I feel like he's on a team where he's the clear number 2, and I think that's going to go well. He's back with Daryl Morey.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, I know that you do have some strong feelings towards Joel Embiid, and you're not a fan, obviously, of the way that he kind of threw Ben Simmons under the bus.
I mean, I'm not, like, I think Embiid is an undeniable great in the league right now. But one of my biggest, I guess, pet peeves is I feel like we, as fans, we cape guys like, for instance, Kawhi was the only reason that the Raptors won the championship. And we also scapegoat guys. And I think that Ben Simmons was massively scapegoated in that year. And I think that kind of started, I mean, he has a lot to do with it, Ben Simmons, right? Like, he underperformed and got the yips and all that. But I also feel like he was runner-up defensive player of the year. And to have the best player on the team and the coach trash you in the interview after you lost.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I watched that Hawks Sixers series, and Trey looked a lot better than Embiid, right? So I think Embiid has to, like, take a little bit of that internally and be like, I'm the best, right? I'm an MVP. guy, so I should be able to beat the Hawks.
Right.
And that's sort of where I come from that. And I don't think Ben Simmons is without fault. I just think that it's the way the narrative kind of broke down. It's sort of like Ben Simmons is the only reason that team collapsed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I agree. I agree. But you know what? It's it is different now. They went out and they got their guy. They got their guy, and it's all behind them now. I feel like Ben could be great. Not to digress again, but he could potentially fit in Brooklyn. I think I mean, it's a team of
Agreed.
misfits right there. So I mean, that's almost like a match made in heaven. But then James Harden really wants to be here with this team, and I definitely like their chemistry. They have a full year now to work together. They're gonna be scary this year, and I would not be surprised if they finish first. So with those reasons in mind, I'm going to take the Philadelphia 76ers on the over 50.5 points at -135, available on BetMGM. Last year, 51, so pretty much on par. I think they could do that again.
Yeah,
moving along.
James will shoot. I'll say that he's never gonna not shoot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know what, man? I mean, do you play him point and then Maxey is the shooting guard, or I guess it's a little 1A 1B. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I feel like why not? You got Harris and Tucker there, and it's a really functionally kind of strong lineup.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love it. Moving along, Cleveland Cavaliers. This one shocked me a little bit too, but the Cavaliers, obviously, with the big splash in the offseason, did not think Donovan Mitchell was going to end up in Cleveland, but they managed to pull it off. Obviously giving up a bunch of assets, but really, in the short term, like you got Lauri Markkanen, like that's not bad. The Cleveland Cavaliers obviously picking up Donovan Mitchell. Now you're looking at a starting five of Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell. It looks like it's going to be Karis LeVert. And then you have Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, like scary hours. That is spooky as an opposing team. And then to see here that their win total is only at 46.5 compared to last year, 44, where they dealt with a ton of injuries. I mean, sure, they're going to have a couple more injuries that they're recovering from right now as well. But I mean, I really, really like this. Anybody else see any objections here? I mean, I think it's pretty cut and dry that you would have to go with the over on this.
Yeah. You gotta.
They
have four potential all-stars.
It's nuts.
That's nuts. Like, what can any other team say that?
I don't think so. Not in that respect. I mean, 4. It's crazy. I mean, Evan Mobley, for me, I mean, I thought that he could have won easily Rookie of the Year last year. I thought he almost should have. That's coming from a Raptors fan as well. That's how high I am on him.
Me too. Mobley's amazing, and maybe he's not a potential all-star, but like a three.
Could be.
Yeah, he could be, right? Like, so
absolutely. And I don't think many other teams can say that. And they got some pieces, and I like their coach. I like Bickerstaff as well. They surprised a lot of people last year. Colin Sexton, right? That's who else they got rid of. And you know what? That's fine. I mean, I think that was a fantastic pickup. I think Donovan Mitchell will fit very well in that team. I mean, they're just going to make it even tougher for the Raptors to break that upper echelon of the Eastern Conference. But man, they are a powerhouse. So, I mean, it looks on paper that they will be. So, with that being said, I'm going to take the Cleveland Cavaliers on the over 46.5, -125. So again, BetMGM is leaning in the favor of the over there, and that is compared to their last season win total of 44 wins. Time for the West. Let's go move on over to the West now. A lot of these I agree with. This one caught me by surprise. Freddie, talk to me about the Denver Nuggets and why we're going with the over, because I want to hear your explanation on this.
Yeah, so it's basically, I think the Nuggets, both of my Western Conference picks are based on the fact that I believe the Jazz, the Spurs, the Thunder, and to a lesser degree, but still the Rockets are more or less openly trying to lose games. So I think a lot of teams are going to benefit from that. And the teams that are trying to win and get seeding will be those teams. I think like a Phoenix or a Warriors, will they push to have the best record in the NBA? Maybe not. Will the Nuggets push to get every single win possible? Or the T-Wolves or the Pelicans? Yes, I think those teams will. And Jamal Murray's back. Michael Porter is back as well. Bones Highland. They're a really, really deep team. Great coach, and 48 wins last year. And I think what was the line was 50.5, right?
51.5.
Oh, 51.5. Okay. Well, my bad. But yeah, no. So I know. I think that the Nuggets are, they should be able to get 4 wins more. It's I guess a tighter margin than some of my other picks, but Jokic, he doesn't get injured. Like I think that they will rack up the wins. And the Western Conference just isn't what it usually is.
Right.
So that's my main sort of take there. But please hit me with why I'm being crazy.
No, you're not. You're not. I just want.
I just nice little mic drop there.
Yeah. Tell me.
I mean, hey, listen, I get in wormholes, so like I need to hear it sometimes.
You talk about teams proving it. I mean, like they can't prove to me that they're going to be healthy, that they're going to stay healthy. You got like Jamal Murray is already running into injury problems, and he's back, and they're already being careful with them. I don't think that they're going to exploit him as much as as much as most people may think. I think that they're going to be careful with them this year. And then they also lost Campazzo. So that's like been your backup point guard for a bit. Monte Morris is also gone now too. So it's like I don't know.
Michael Porter Jr. just had back surgery.
He's a complete band-aid.
So wow, I thought Michael Porter Jr. was. I thought he was coming in healthy. My bad.
Oh, he is coming in healthy, but he's got a history of back problems. Yeah. His whole family does, apparently. That's what I read.
Oh wow!
Oh no!
Like his whole family are athletes, and they're all their backs are just.
Maybe my West picks aren't great.
No. I mean, it's hey,
but they got Caldwell Pope and Bruce Brown too, right? So those are those are players, right?
No, I'm
yeah, I know.
No,
I know. I'm at that point of the argument where it's like, ooh, things are getting weaker.
Oh man, I mean, like I'm also just going because like some of these players like I've had in fantasy in the past, and like I'm not to base this all off fantasy, but like Aaron Gordon has also proven himself to be underachieving and injury prone as well, and I don't want to see these teams. Like it sucks to see these players injured, and you want to see the Denver Nuggets, like teams like that, at full health, because a lot of the times like you see these players drop off, and then it's just Jokic trying to figure things out with what he's got. And he always tends to. He always figures things out. It's a win total that I was reluctant. I had them on my page when I was writing down my possibilities, and I just decided to leave that one alone because the Denver Nuggets. It could go either way. It definitely could. I like your reasons for it being over. I really, really hope the over hits. The injuries scare me, and that's all.
I think. Yeah. Listen, I think a healthy Nuggets team, you're hitting that over all day.
Oh yeah, but absolutely.
That's what it comes down to, right?
I've heard Bones Highland has really impressed in the offseason as well, and a lot of people are high on him coming into this year as well. So yeah, man. I mean, I definitely it's not a bad pick. I just wanted to hear the reasoning behind it, and I like it. I like it a lot. But it could go either way for me. So
hey, I'll show myself the door.
No, please stay. We love you. So yeah, we're gonna go with the over on that. Over -110. Last year win total 48. Grizzlies. That's another one that I had written down. Like the over here. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, pretty similar logic here. I think, of course, there with Jaren Jackson Jr., there's an expected drop off to a certain degree. They lost Melton, but I think that they were widely considered like the deepest, youngest team in the league last year. They pushed it for the second overall record in the NBA, and I mean, like, what does anyone expect of Ja other than to like dominate on a nightly basis? So like, if you want to talk about betting, like Ja is like, should Ja be like an outside MVP pick or what? Like
he was for a bit. He was in the conversation for a while until I think he got banged up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. So,
but yeah, I just think they have again, another really good coach. They have like a good system. Desmond Bain, like they have a lot of talent, a lot of complementary pieces, and I expect them to also benefit from tanking teams, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely like it for a team that won 56 games last year, and then for them to only achieve 49 and a half. Is that because Jaren
Yeah,
Jackson
why?
Jr. is injured? I don't know. I mean, I think that's shockingly low. I definitely think the Memphis Grizzlies can hit more than 50. So yeah, for those reasons, I'm on board with you. I definitely like it. Yeah, not a whole lot of crazy changes. I mean, they picked up Danny Green, so they have him coming off the bench. John Morant, I really hope that he can stay healthy as well.
Yeah, he played. I'm just looking. He played 57 games last year, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't take the over on this. And they're at minus 110 for the over on the Memphis Grizzlies. That's according to BetMGM. So lock it and load it, man. I like it. Let's get you up on that. Bird.
Yo,
Another one. Another fun one here. I know you're
which
high.
one? They're both
Yeah,
fun.
they're both fun. They're both a lot of fun. Let's start off with the Sacramento Kings.
Okay.
Are these one of the teams that's going to benefit because they definitely, God knows, none of the Sacramento King fans or fan base or the team themselves, they don't want to tank. They want to win.
They're over tanking.
Yeah, they're
They've been
done
doing
tanking.
it for 16 years, bro.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they want to win. And it looks like they got what it takes. I mean, you're high on Keegan Murray, but talk to me about the spec.
Yeah, I mean, I am high on Keegan Murray. I think he's the wild card in all of this. He's the X factor. I don't know if did you guys watch him in summer league or preseason at all?
Caught a little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
I saw him in summer league, not preseason, but he looks pretty nice. Like he looks awesome.
he might have been the best player in summer league. Honestly, he looked insane. And I feel like he'll probably fit into the starting five sooner rather than later.
Yeah, absolutely.
You still have De'Aaron Fox and you have Sabonis now, a whole year of Sabonis as well. I know we were talking about Harden. Same thing. You get a whole year with those two gelling together.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've got some floor spacing with Herter in the mix and Malik Monk. They're both I've got 41.9% catch and shoot 3-point shooters.
Love that.
So you got some spacing. You got Sabonis and Fox. They can operate in the post, the mid range, and then you throw in a wild card like Keegan Murray. Like I like this little core they have going on, and like you got to think the playoff drought. It's got to end, man. Like you can't keep this shit going.
Give him a 10 spot. The play-in.
Yeah, just make the play.
Longest drought in the NBA.
Oh yeah, man. It's gotta. They're due. They are due. And like you talk about Fox and Sabonis, I'm gonna love watching their chemistry and their pick and rolls. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. So
and don't forget new coach Mike Brown, assistant to Steve Kerr's.
Yeah.
7-8 years.
Totally.
I don't know. You bring in a coach from a winning culture. I think that has an immediate impact as well.
Dude, I like it.
I don't know. They won 30 games last year. It's not that crazy to say they win 35. No, I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Am I crazy? Or
someone's got to, someone's got to win games.
Someone's got to win them. Yeah, and that's why, like, I mean, I look at all these win totals. I'm like, I want to bet the over on all of them, but you can't. But the Kings are one of them, man. I mean, to see them at 34.5 this year, as opposed to 30 last year at minus 110, I like it. I like it a lot. I would hammer that over for tour. So yeah, Sacramento Kings again, 34.5 wins, minus 110, as opposed to last year, 30 wins.
Yes, sir.
Love it. This one, I thought about it a lot. I decided to leave it alone because there's just so much going on.
Oh, I know. I love it. The chaos.
It's chaos. The Minnesota Timberwolves.
This is my Nuggets pick here.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. So, I think this is the year we see Anthony Edwards just like explode into a superstar, and I'm here for it. It's gonna be so sick. Indestructible wearing Anthony Edwards.
He reps the brand. He reps the brand.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't know. This offense was 7th best in the league last year. I don't know if you knew that. I just found that out half an hour before coming on here. So, yeah.
I love that.
This could be a really great offense league wide, and I think Anthony Edwards is at the forefront of that. You have like an insane versatility with Cat. He can space the floor. He can also act as a 5. And then you have Gobert as your rim protector. So like teams are going to be defending Cat, and you just toss it to Gobert or vice versa, or someone's covering Anthony Edwards. Like you have so many options.
Man.
And like they added a couple 3-point shooters. They've got Bryn Forbes. He's a 41% 3-point shooter. So I mean, you've got additional looks with that when defenses are focusing on the other guys. I just think there's a lot of options for scoring here.
Did they pick up Kyle Anderson too?
I'm not sure.
I think they did from Memphis. I think they did.
They might have. Yeah, he's definitely not in Memphis anymore.
Yeah, no, I think he ended up. I think he's in a T-Wolves uniform. So it's like even the assets that they gave up to pick up Gobert, just and the here and now, as opposed to like the picks that we were talking about. But I think they addressed the huge issue, which has always been their defense. They've always been amongst the worst in defense. It's always been the worst. And then obviously Gobert is definitely going to help change that culture as well. So I mean, there's a lot of different factors.
You lose Pat Bev, but like. You're gonna be fine.
You'll be fine.
Get Austin Rivers,
Yeah. But you got Austin. Man, I like it. I absolutely like it. 46 wins last year as opposed to this year. Now they're saying at 49.5 at -110. I think with the crazy offseason that they've had and the direction that they're trending in, I definitely like to see them on the over on this. I think they can definitely. It's just when it's also the same sort of thing with the Cavs as well. Doesn't have anything to do with the fact that they just picked up both of these players from Utah, but it's just whether or not like how like are they going to be able to adjust, like because sometimes it just doesn't work out. I mean, we saw it with James Harden in Brooklyn. Sometimes it just doesn't fit, and everyone was just like, why would you go after Rudy Gobert when you have Carl Anthony
dual
Towns?
Center thing might not work.
The Twin Towers. I mean,
experiment.
It is.
It could be funky. I'm high on them though.
Yeah, man, I like it. And it's another one of those cases like somebody's got to win these games, and I mean, when you have more teams tanking in the West than when you have something in the East, then I like Timberwolves, man. 49.5 -110 as compared to last year's 46 wins as well. We are running pretty long here, so this is definitely one of the longer bet episodes that we've done.
We only have 2 more.
Yeah, we only got 2 more.
I blame myself monologuing.
No. I blame Allen Iverson.
Hey, we needed to hear the AI story.
It's Allen.
Oh man,
you mustache wearing bastards need to.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell my kids about that, and they'll be like, "Who's AI?" And I'm like, and then I'll have to teach them all about that. But here we go. Like I said, I love hammering the overs on this. I'm like, everybody wins. I like it, but. Someone's got to hit the unders, and for me, it's gonna be the Pelicans. For the Pelicans, for me, I feel like they are trending in the right direction. I feel like they will make at least the play-in. I feel like they obviously are. They're heading in the right direction. You sign Zion, you got Nance, and you got McCollum. Didn't really lose a whole lot, maybe like Blake Snell. But they are slated at 45.5 as opposed to last year's
big jump.
Last year's 36. That is a huge jump. 36 wins got you into the play-in tournament. That's crazy. But 45.5. So you're looking at a 10-game jump. When really, I mean, like that is saying a full year of McCollum and Zion if he's healthy. That's the problem as well. And it sort of relates to maybe with the Nuggets is like they have a lot of great pieces, but when you have injury problems with McCollum, Brandon Ingram McCollum I think should be fine, but Brandon Ingram is a Band-Aid. And Zion, we don't like, he seems to be in top physical shape. He's feeling like it's been the best version of himself so far, and he's ready to come back. I mean, he got Valanciunas. Nance has always been a bit of an injury question mark as well. So, I mean, those are your players. That's what you got. And I mean, I feel like they are going to hit a lot of bumps throughout the course of the season. They will figure it out. I feel like they can crack 40. I just don't know if it's going to be over 46. I feel like that's pretty high for a team who's still trying to figure out who they are. They have great pieces like Alvarado, man. Like I love watching him off the bench. And then you got,
he's awesome. He's like a Fred VanVleet for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's
just
great.
Overachieving, dude.
Yeah, man. He's full of mischief too. Love it. And who's the other guy? Herb Jones? Is that someone else as well?
Yes.
Yeah, very defensive minded as well. I like it. I mean, they got a lot of great pieces. And I'm not saying that they're, they could potentially hit 45 wins, but I just don't think they're going to crack over 46 or over 45 and a half. Vegas is also trending in that direction. BetMGM has them at minus 120. So for those reasons, I'm going to go with the under when it comes to New Orleans. Anybody else have any?
How dare you? Very fair.
I'm sorry.
Very fair.
Man. I think hopefully Jackson Hayes. Is it Jackson Hayes? Hayes.
Yeah.
I hope that he can stay healthy. I know he's got some injury issues right now as well. So yeah, man. And then you got Devonte Graham. I like their team. They're fun. They're exciting. I was really rooting for them. They gave Phoenix some problems in the playoffs last year. But yeah, let's go with the under on that. Under 45 and a half wins as compared to last year's 36. Finally, the Dallas Mavericks. I got the Dallas Mavericks on the over 48 and a half. I'm surprised. I thought that they ended up doing pretty well with that Christian Wood pickup. I love Christian Wood. I think that's great. Nice you also pick up JaVale McGee as well. Like you just addressed your center situation as well. I mean, like you lost Kristaps Porzingis and you got him for Spencer Dinwiddie. I've always loved Spencer Dinwiddie as well. I think he's going to be a great potential six man of the year sort of thing if he can fall into that position and really lead the bench. I think that's fantastic. A healthy Tim Hardaway. You got pieces like Reggie Bullock as well. And you lose Jalen Brunson. Yeah, sure. You lost him. New York paid the man. Fine. I'm okay with it, really. I find that Jalen Brunson was a great piece, but he really, really excelled when Luka was injured. So that's like, so because of that, you're gonna dog them 3 wins from last year. They hit 52 wins, and this year they have them at 48 and a half. I don't see why the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, these were Western Conference finalists. So I mean, like, I don't understand why they can't hit the 50 win mark. Anybody else have any issues with that?
Porzingis was barely playing as it is anyway, right? So I don't know that you're really gonna miss that.
No, I really don't. I think Luka's apparently gotten leaner. He's looking he's looking
a little bit fantasy pick, dude. He looks he looks a little leaner.
Yeah, man. He's
lean Luka. Let's
lean Luke. Yeah. I like it, man. I don't know. Does anybody else have any issues with this? Because I kind of like the over. That's why I picked it.
Like I don't really see a lot of reasons to go under. I don't like, but I guess is it really Brunson? But Doncic is just like, talk about like MVP candidates, right? Like he's there. He's officially, it could be any day now where people are sort of like starting to say that he's the best player in the NBA. Like he's not quite there, I don't think, but like he's getting close.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are putting him in their top 5 at least. So I mean, this could be the year. I mean, there was a lot of momentum now built around that team, and they know that they can do it. Jason Kidd did a remarkable job coaching that squad. He did. Bring them to the Western Conference, and you know what? And that's crazy because I never thought Jason Kidd was that good of a coach. I didn't think he was that good in Milwaukee. I didn't think that he had what it took, but.
I totally agree. He had like a major revival, man. But
absolutely.
Coaches can also do that, right? Like, Doc Rivers gotten slandered so much, and I thought that he coached a pretty good series against the Raptors.
Yeah, absolutely.
But coaches can improve. So
yeah, absolutely. So again, for those reasons, I'm taking the Dallas Mavericks on the over 48 and a half. BetMGM has it minus 110. And that's compared to last year's win total of 52. Here we are. We're right past the 1 hour mark. So ding, ding, ding. Giddy up. It's the pick and roll. This is the part where we tie everything in a nice bow, and it's all brought to you by BetStamp. Make sure you check out betstamp.app/onboarding and use promo code DB2 so you can sign up to BetMGM and any other sportsbook that are available in your region. And buy Yup Beer. Visit yupbeer.com to find a location near you. There's over 200 across Ontario. Been a minute, but Freddie is going in the East. He's going with the Raptors over 46.5. The Nets under 50.5 wins at -105. Then in the West, he's going with the Nuggets over 51.5 wins and the Grizzlies over 49.5 wins. That one's at -110 as well. Bird is going with the Orlando Magic over 26.5 wins. Ooh. The Miami Heat under 49.5. Kings over 34.5 wins. And the Minnesota Timberwolves going to crack 50, hitting that over 49.5. And then yours truly, really high on the Philadelphia 76ers. Give me the over 50.5. Cavaliers over 46.5. Pelicans under 45.5. And then the Dallas Mavericks on the over 48.5. And there you have it. You can check out all of our episodes available on the Dean Blundell Network as well. Check us out for articles that I am posting on the weekly as well. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, as we are now posting this as you're watching on YouTube or listening on your favorite podcast platform. One more time, Freddie Rivas from the Confederacy of Dunks, my dude. Thank you so much for jumping on. We're gonna have to have you back on as well, because it's great to catch up, and yeah, always a pleasure to talk shop with you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I'll make sure to have you guys on soon too.
Oh yeah, man.
This is a good time, you know.
Oh yeah, dude. That's great. You know what? We'll be able to get you back on as well, like maybe some point throughout the season, and we can kind of look back and see where our teams are trending when it comes to these picks. But it'd be great to have you back on as well. But for Josh Elijah, Birdman, and one more time, Freddie Rivas, have yourselves a great week. Enjoy the NBA season as much as we do as well. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out. Cheers.
See ya.